BJR Incorporation by Jeremy, Brianna, and Riley.
For our first design iteration, our team's primary design approach was to focus on the aspect of removing dye from the colored water. The materials used in the design were activated charcoal, Fisher Scientific fine sand, and Fisher Scientific coarse sand. We knew that we wanted to use activated charcoal in our design because we had previous knowledge of the Brita filter using activated charcoal. We decided to order the fine and the coarse sand to ensure that no pieces of the activated charcoal would go through the filter. Additionally, the fine and coarse sand were able to remove some of the dark gray water that resulted from the water passing through the activated charcoal. In addition, we focused on cost. We only ordered materials that we knew that we would need in our design. We did not purchase communal tools or any other additional equipment. Pictured here is the concentrated dye on the left, and then our first design filter. This design does not have a base yet. First, we wanted to focus on how well the media cleaned the water. The cheesecloth had a hard time staying around the pipe. Media used: coarse sand, fine sand, and activated charcoal. This is the media we chose to use in our filter. We selected materials that had varying mineral sizes in an effort to fully remove all dye from the water. We decided as a group to make a design change halfway through the project when we made the decision to change the housing from a pipe to a soda bottle. This consequently shifted our primary design goal from cost and effectiveness of dye removal to stability. We originally had the pipe resting in a styrofoam cup. However, we felt this did not provide enough support for the pipe to be stable when we were pouring the water into it. It frequently moved and one time even fell over. Changing the housing to a water bottle certainly did accomplish our goal of stability, but unfortunately we felt this did not remove as much dye as the pipe did. Since the mouth of the soda bottle was a lot wider than the pipe, the total layer of media was smaller.
This is the design diagram for the BJR water filter. As you can see, the housing for the media is the top half of the soda bottle inverted and placed inside the bottom half of the bottle. Each of the media is then layered starting with the coarse sand, followed by the fine sand, and then topped with the majority of the media, which was the activated charcoal. All of the media was kept in the top of the soda bottle with a piece of cheesecloth folded over twice to ensure that none of the media would filter through into the clean water. The cheesecloth was then attached to the housing using 2 rubber bands. All of the clean water is then collected in the bottom half of the soda bottle to complete the water filter. How well does our device perform? For trial 1, using sand only worsened the water by making it very foggy. This trial utilized filter paper, which ripped quickly and was not usable for further trials. All later trials utilized the cheesecloth in place of the ripped filter paper. For trial 2, using only the activated charcoal in our design did not adequately clean the water. Although it did remove a significant portion of the dye, it left the water dark gray and very cloudy. We knew that we had to use more than just the activated charcoal in our design after this trial. For trial 3, noticing the black from the previous trial, we decided to use the coarse sand at the base of the housing, followed by the fine sand, and then the majority of the media, which was the activated charcoal. This trial worked best, removing almost all of the dye and left the water looking, quote-unquote, clean enough to drink. For our 4th trial, it utilized the same media in the same order, except the dye in our discussion had been changed. The dye used to be a bright pink and now is a deep shade of red. The filter appeared to take almost no dye out of the water. For the 5th trial, the housing was changed from a pipe to a water bottle to try to filter out more dye. Some dye appeared to be filtered out, but not as much as trial 3. This was our final design. It clearly was affected by the change in the water and the dye concentration. These 2 images depict the 2 different dyes that we worked with throughout our trials. On the left is the original bright pink dyed water. On the right is the deep red colored water that was implicated in our 3rd trial, which affected our filter results drastically. As previously discussed, the change of the dye helped make the photometer easier to read. However, almost no dye was filtered out because of the change.
The final cost of our water filter was $107. It consisted of 1 soda bottle priced at $20, 1 cheesecloth at $15, 20 grams of granulated charcoal at $35, 50 grams of fine sand at $20, 50 grams of coarse sand at $15, and 2 rubber bands at $1 each. The change of the main housing unit was the major design iteration that occurred while building the filter. The original housing was a 1 by 4 inch pipe where all the filter media was placed, but due to the unstable base, the housing was changed to a 20-ounce bottle. The bottle was cut in half with the bottom forming the base of the filter and the top portion becoming the location of the filter media. While the original housing filtered the dye much better, the new housing allowed the device to become freestanding. If there were more time, the design would probably be changed by either adding a 3D printed freestanding base for the original pipe housing or optimizing the amount of each filter media to produce the greatest change in dye levels.
Here is our calibration curve for the dye. Here are our results on test day.